Welcome back, folks. I am Jon Najarian. Happy to be back with you guys. Sorry I wasn't able to be here yesterday. CJ and Monty are fresh from their dueling with AJ Monty, no relation to Matt Montemayor, but nonetheless a chartist extraordinaire, a CFA, and that event last night, guys, was fantastic. I know that everybody that attended thought that once again, AJ and you guys did a great job.
Thanks, John. Yeah, it's always fun to have AJ on and get sort of a different perspective to the crypto markets. And like you said, he's a master of the charts. So we had him look through some of our favorite altcoins, some of our dojis of the day that we pick here. And we took some questions from the chat as well. So if you guys didn't catch that, the replay is available. If you just navigate to our crypto community and then go to the webinars on the left. If you're not yet a member, you can try it for just $1. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, John. It was a good webinar.
And if you want to try it for $1, folks, just go to marketrebellion.com/try crypto. And you could be in that room. Well, guys, it's a day where we've actually got both Bitcoin and Ethereum in the green. Ethereum's up 7%, Bitcoin's up 3.5% or something like that. Let me see, what is Bitcoin dominance today? 43%. Ethereum's 18.6%. And we're seeing some pretty good volume. So I had a chart that if it's convenient, Monty, I'd love to share with folks that shows, let me see, here it is. Let me make sure are you guys seeing that? It says I'm sharing the screen of the liquidations and so forth.
Yeah, I had it set up and now it's.
Looks like it, well, at least on my end, it looked like it was up there. This is from buybybt.com. And it was a chart that if you can see it, great. If you can't, I'm sorry. We can post it up later if you can't, but this is a chart that was showing those liquidations that the three of us had been talking about during the volatile sell-off from 58,000 all the way down to 30,000. Obviously, we peaked at 64,800, but more or less the market was bouncing between 53 and 58. And then we started seeing those liquidations that started in April and accelerated last week when we reported 800 and some odd thousand wallets or accounts had been liquidated. And that leverage, which you guys see, if you see this screen, it's Bitcoin traders using 100-to-1 leverage. This is from my friends at CNBC, and they were saying that drove the wild swings in cryptocurrencies, as you might expect. And for anybody that says, well, but that's crazy that they let a market do that, I would point out that crude oil futures went negative a little over a year ago by $30. So there are a whole bunch of reasons that over-leveraged investors, traders, et cetera, can really drive markets. That one example of, the final day of the crude oil contract going negative by $30, it went there because, of course, people have to take delivery of crude oil if they hold it all the way into expiration, and they couldn't. So then they have to sell it at any price. And when you're selling at any price, that's the ultimate buy when there's fear, and be greedy when other people are fearful. This was a great example. And I think what happened in crypto was also a great example. So far today, Bitcoin's 39,130. Twice last week, you got a chance to buy it below 32,000. So that's a pretty nice trade if you were somebody who kept your head instead of somebody who was being forced out of the markets. With that said, I'll stop. whatever share was going on, Monty.
Thank you, John.
It's good to take those lessons from history because it kind of the general consensus or I guess sentiment around the liquidation data is that it's kind of something that's new in the market when you see that reported from mainstream media outlets. But this is something that's been in Bitcoin for quite a long time. I think if we go back to March 12th, that massive crash right after oil went negative that you mentioned, John, that was largely due to mass liquidations as well. BitMEX had a record day of liquidations in that particular historical day. And that would have proved to be an excellent buying opportunity in hindsight. So sometimes these liquidations in mass are some of the best buying opportunities, not financial advice. It's just kind of what we've seen historically.
Yeah, absolutely. And it turns out, if you've watched it closely, folks, that the altcoins tend to move about twice as much as Bitcoin moves on those big down days. But on the other hand, they've been outperforming Bitcoin since probably at least March, guys. It was altcoin season, and that's why with the doges of the day and so forth, we've been so pleased with the results, because Bitcoin was just kind of chugging along, putting on 500 or 1,500 bucks up and down, that sort of movement, not high vol. And yet you were seeing, literally Ethereum doubled while Bitcoin was just chugging sideways. And you saw a whole bunch of others, even some of the real crappy coins, doubling, tripling, quadrupling during that altcoin season. My question to you guys is, as guys that have lived through that for more than just a few months, do you think that we go back to that same model where Bitcoin maybe stabilizes somewhere between 37 and 42 for a while and altcoins take the lead again?
Yeah, John, I think that there's a good reason to believe that, because like you said, whenever Bitcoin trades sideways in a channel, people get bored and they look elsewhere to put their money. And, like you said, those altcoins can be very volatile. They have high beta, so they'll look downstream. And you could actually take a step further. CJ and I, back in 2019, when we were, just starting at Market Rebellion, we were trading crypto, and the market was very sideways because the S&P was just roaring, and there was no reason for people to be speculating on Bitcoin when there's just tremendous performance elsewhere. I expect a similar thing to play out while Bitcoin kind of remains in this range of somewhere between 35 and 42K. 42K is a critical level that we're looking like we're going to approach soon, so I don't think we're going to break it. And if we stay in this range, John, I think that a lot of altcoins are going to see some tremendous speculation in the coming weeks.
I don't disagree. I was trying to lead you into that more or less, and you took the bait.
I tend to do that.
There are some altcoins here, though, that are breaking out pretty good, guys. One that I'd say that I wish I owned an awful lot more of is Polygon, which I'm going to make my Doge of the day, because Matic, I know you guys have mentioned it before, MATIC, but just look at this one. Let me see, what is our 7-day on this one? Over the last 7 days, let's see, it looks like Saturday night into Sunday, it bottomed at about 82 cents. And now here it is at 218. And the volume, some of the altcoins, folks, volumes are down as much as 30 or 40%. And this one's hanging right in there. 24-hour volume, it looks like about, what is that? It's virtually unchanged over the last 24 hours. So I really like Matic to continue this move and perhaps set some new highs in the next little bit.
Nice pick, John. I know you just made a lot of members of our community very happy with that pick.
They like Matic.
Yeah, I can already see them in chat. Very happy that you made that pick. But CJ, what have you got for us today as your Doge of the day?
I was going to mention Matic as well, but
Ah!
but it wasn't my primary one. Yesterday we talked about Luna. I still really like Luna. I think it's postured well. It's given back a ton to the market, and I still think it has a lot of room to the upside because there's just no resistance overhead after falling so drastically. But my pick today, specifically for volume and technicals, is going to be OXT, also known as Orchid. Volume is up, or average trading volume is up 198% on this one. And so if you check out the charts in our background here, you can see that we're starting to see some really nice bullish engulfing candles at the bottom of this downtrend. But the previous candle that we had yesterday had an immense level of volume. And I think a great analogy for volume when it comes to markets is that it ultimately is like rocket fuel for certain assets. It is a metric of traders voting on a specific price. And if there's bullish volume, that means essentially all those traders are voting that they think price is going to go up in the future. And so due to that, due to the other technicals as well, I really like OXT for that, and I'll be watching it today because of that volume.
Nice. I like that one too.
Thank you, CJ. I will close it up today with my Doge of the day, which is AVAX Avalanche. And, I just really like the technicals on this one. Also, I like, the fundamental value proposition of a token like Avalanche right now. I think now is a good time to look to invest in assets like Ethereum, like Avalanche, even like Binance chain, because there's going to be a lot of innovation happening on these chains in the next couple of months. And also, I always like the concept of getting exposure to these crypto plays like AVAX, like ETH, like Uni and Sushi, the DEX plays that kind of give you a multi-directional exposure, because AVAX, it doesn't necessarily matter if the price of the assets that are being built on the AVAX blockchain go down. As long as there's still network traffic and people keep building on it, the value can continue to go up. So I like the fundamental value prop, but today the technicals look very solid for me. So we bought them on this TD sequential buy 9 here. We also have this bull